Crossroads. Each Crossroads story is based on the actual experiences of American clergymen, pastor, priest, or rabbi, the men who give inspiration and guidance to people at the crossroads of life. Stories for Crossroads are selected by our Board of Advisors, Captain Maurice M. Witherspoon, Father George B. Ford, and Dr. William F. Rosenblum.
The Bowery. It's hard to realize it's on the same island with Park and Fifth Avenues. Sometimes I wonder where they all come from. Beaten, poor, the homeless. Many lost souls have looked upon this plaque. Seems only yesterday I was celebrating the end of my first year here as pastor.
Happy birthday, dear Mission. Happy birthday. George! George Bolton, where are you? Buck, where's Reverend Bolton?
He's upstairs checking on the men in the dormitory. Wouldn't let me help him for fear I'd dirty my suit. I'm leaving today. Heading south. You want me to go get him?
No, I'll get him. You know, it's not going to seem the same without you around here, Buck. Casey's not here either?
No, he's out delivering the food basket. How do you like it?
Well, he finally found somebody his Christmas suit would fit. That man, he'd give you the shirt off his... Well, what am I saying? You got it on.
Nice fit, huh?
Wonderful. Listen, if that cake should fall off the desk, jump. You might lose a foot. Well, Buck, you gonna stay on the straight and narrow from now on?
Mrs. Bolton, you're looking at a reformed character.
You know, Florence, if I had a piece of baling wire, I think I could fix it. Well, what do you know?
It's beautiful.
Oh, you shouldn't have.
Well, I didn't. Casey did. I dropped it out in the kitchen. It went right through the floor.
Well, if I'm going to be catching my train...
Oh, you've got plenty of time.
Casey will be here in a minute.
And we'll let him be the guinea pig, huh?
Sorry, Reverend.
Well, all right. You want to miss out on such an historic occasion.
Thanks, Reverend. You'll never know how much you helped.
Oh, Buck, just in case you're a little short, I can let you have a couple of your namesakes.
Sorry, Reverend. I have everything I need.
You'll notice I wait till the last minute to suggest putting up a lunch for you.
Thanks, Mrs. Bolton. And thanks, Reverend, for everything. I'll never forget you.
Okay, Buck. Keep the spots off your conscience and the suit.
So long. So long to you both. Good luck. Well, I'm leaving. I hope you're satisfied.
You never belonged here, Faraday. You know that. Lots of luck. All of it bad.
Thanks for nothing.
Here he comes, the master chef.
Did you deliver the grub where I told you to, Case?
I sure did, Reverend. Oh, how do you like it, huh?
It's the prettiest thing I've seen since the day I first laid eyes on Mrs. Bolton.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far.
It's a masterpiece you can be proud of, Case. Now, if you can just get us a knife, we'll cut into it and see what... Case.
Oh, I took it off that hopped-up mainliner you dragged in off the street at dawn. Lucky you didn't get it right between the shoulder blades. Here, go to Carmen.
Blow out the candle, George, but first make a wish.
A wish? Oh, that's easy. I wish that when Casey takes our hoarded gold over to Mr. Breen this morning to pay for the new roof, that Mr. Breen says, for the roof, forget it. It's on the house.
Oh, George Bolton.
1 year today. Case, when you take the money to Mr. Breen, I don't want you to stress how long it's taken us to save this amount of money, but... Wait a minute, hon. On second thought, I think it's best that I see that man. Yes, it's best that I do it. Case, your cake was sensational.
The money's gone, isn't it, George?
Now, keep your shirt on, Mrs. Bolton. Whoever took that money needs it a lot worse than Mr. Breen.
It was Buck. He's going by train, ain't he?
Now, calm down, Case. The money's gone. my own fault for not keeping it in the bank.
George Bolton, you're going to write that letter and accept that parish in Chicago.
And I'm going to Grand Central.
Casey, wait a minute. You're going to that kitchen. We've got 500 men to feed today. Case, look, if you run down Buck and then find out you're wrong, you'll undo everything we may have done for him here.
But I ain't wrong. I know him from the old days. I warned you not to take him in here.
Are you going to that kitchen? Or do I have to do the cooking myself? And I'll just hang on to this if you don't mind. Listen, Mug, you may be tough, but I come from the Bowery myself. All the tricks of Mott Street. I'm just as big a mug as you are. I can lick you besides. Will you go to that kitchen?
Well, all right. But it was Buck took that dough, and he's going to have to give it back, too. I wish you'd tell me the truth, Mrs. Bolton. He ain't been himself, the Reverend, all last week.
Oh, Case, why should I lie to you? Somebody sent him an old wanted poster a week ago.
I see. Escaped convict? Wanted for robbery and assault with a deadly weapon?
Yeah, that's it, Case. It's been driving him crazy. He thinks the face is yours.
Is it mine? Is it my face?
You couldn't prove it by me. There's a resemblance, but this man's name is...
Terrence Malloy.
Oh, Case, it is you.
That Buck. Trust him to think up a nifty like this. Wanted to send me in here real good, didn't he?
Why would he do such an awful thing?
Well, forget it, Mrs. Bolton. I guess the world ain't big enough for a man to hide forever.
But somehow I feel that
Where's the Reverend now?
he's in his office. Casey, what are you going to do? Case?
Hey, lady, then we got no dessert?
No, it's true. I used a shiv on a guy in a post office heist a long while ago. I escaped from Sing Sing with 3 others. 2 of them were caught. Me and another guy still owe 12 years to the state of New York.
12 years. The thing that kills my soul, Case, is that only you can make the decision.
I know what to do. I gotta get back to Sing Sing and pay him the time I owe him. I've been around long enough to know that everybody has to pay what he owes in this life.
You really mean that? Well, just by walking out that door, you might go the rest of your life undetected.
Sure, I mean it.
Case, you revived my faith in man's immortal soul.
Well, now, don't get me wrong. I've heard you say that I'm one sinner that's repented. Well, I haven't repented about anything.
Casey.
Well, I gotta tell you the truth. You've been good to me. But I haven't bought what you've been selling. All this sweetness and life stuff, it only goes so far with me. Take you letting Buck walk out of here with your money. Should have carved my initials in him a long time ago. Well, the road ain't so long, but what I'll still get a chance to pay that debt back.
It's been a good lesson to me, Case. Looks like I'm going to have to redouble my efforts for the Lord. Every day you're going to be remembered in my prayers. I'm not going to give up on you. You've got something the Lord wants and needs.
Think he could use a good fry cook in heaven?
Mark my words, Case. There'll come a day when the Lord will send you a message. He'll say, "This is the day, Terrence Malloy. From this day on, you're in my kitchen. Keep that apron clean."
That'll be the day.
It will indeed.
I suppose you realize, Malloy, that I must keep you here, that I can promise you nothing, that you'll be getting along a mite when you get out.
I can add, Warden.
It'll help some that you came back of your own free will.
Okay. But you know, Warden, I got a feeling I'm going to be a little lonesome in here. There's a guy on the outside I'd like to have keep me company. Name's Buck Faraday. As soon as I get settled, I'll help you get a line on him. So long, Reverend.
Case,
Yes, Reverend?
remember what I told you. There'll come a day.
Okay. I'll be tuned in on his wavelength.
Our next few years were identical with the first. We got the roof paid for, continued to feed the hungry, clothe the ragged, do what we could for the sick, but there were still too few accomplishments we could point to.
Mrs. Benedict Bristow regrets to advise that during the coming year, her contribution to the mission must be considerably curtailed.
Florence, listen to this from Sing Sing. A parole has been granted good old Case, and the warden wants me up there today when they break the news to Case.
Oh, wonderful.
Hooray and hallelujah. Where's my top coat?
What top coat?
Well, my top coat. I hung it here last night.
Well, let me see. If I was your top coat, where would I be?
Hey, come on, honey. I haven't got time to play games. I've got to get up to Sing Sing.
I think I'd be in that sweet little hock shop on beautiful Broome Street, right alongside a brand new pair of shoes, borrowed last night from that dear wife of that handsome Reverend Bolton. Do you know him, the man at the Bowery Mission?
Oh, well, who needs a top coat on such a lovely day?
From the Bowery Mission. Hi, Parson. What are you in for? How's things on the Bowery?
Just fine, Joe.
Oh, Reverend, you seem to be somewhat of a celebrity around here.
Well, either that or I run the prep school for Sing Sing.
It's Buck Faraday. Who? Buck Faraday.
Can you speak? Who did this to you?
There's the man that did it.
I didn't do it, Reverend Bolton. I didn't do it. I swear it.
He's dead.
But there 2 or 3 other guys in that group had a reason to knock him off. It all happened so quick, I couldn't tell you which one of them done it, but I didn't. And that's the truth. Funny thing. Only the Reverend will appreciate this. I was considering giving it to him the day he came in here 6 months ago. But you know what, Reverend?
What, Case?
I got the message.
Do you really mean that, Case?
As God is my judge. I could have got away with it, too. I had a shift that day, and there wasn't a guard within 50 feet of us. I sidled up alongside of him and asked him if he was ready to take the long sleep. And then, like a flash of light, it came.
What came?
This is something just between the Reverend and me.
Well, tell me about it, Case.
I could hear it just like I can hear you now. Like a loudspeaker up in the clouds. This is the moment, Terence Malloy had said. From this moment on, you're in my kitchen. Keep that apron clean. You know, Reverend, just like you said.
Of course I know.
Well, that was that. I haven't had a knife in my hand from that day to this, and I haven't had one today.
You want to know something, Case? I believe every word you said. That was the day.
It was indeed.
Name those you suspect.
No dice.
Go on, Case. Do what he says.
It don't make no difference. I got the right wavelength now. But don't worry, Reverend. I won't lose this station.
Well, Malloy, you've established a record. The shortest parole in Sing Sing's history. Take him away.
Give my regards to Mrs. Bolton, Reverend. Ask her to write.
I will, Casey. And so the years passed with an occasional victory that would almost balance the scales. It was win here, lose there, but somehow we carried on. Finally, there came a letter. Old Case wanted to see me at Sing Sing.
I wouldn't be opening up, but this man is dying.
You mean the man that knifed Buck, Case?
His name's Willie Anderson. He's in the prison hospital. Nobody around here can get him to tell the truth. But you got a way of reaching people, Reverend.
Willie, just think how one word from you will make a whole mountain of red tape unravel. A man can't carry hatred into his grave with him. That's no ticket that'll get him a reserved seat alongside the Lord. Willie, if you're the man who stabbed Buck Faraday, say so. But think how one word from you will make Sing Sing's gates open. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not asking you to lie. Not even a white lie, because where lies are concerned, I'm colorblind. They're all the same color and they're all no good. I'm just asking you to tell the truth. Buck's dead. Now, if you're the man that stabbed him, then he's the man you hated. So why take it out on my friend Case?
You want to know something, Parson?
Of course, Willie. That's why I'm here.
I didn't like Buck. I don't like Malloy, and I don't like you.
What have I ever done to you, Willie?
Nothing. But I don't like you so-called men of God. And don't tell me there's a God. You're nothing but a bunch of phonies, all of you. If my mouth wasn't so dry, do you know what I'd do?
You go right ahead and do it, Willie, if it'll make you feel any better.
I can't.
There you are, Willie. Now, get on target.
That don't do me no good. I can drink gallons of it. I'm still dry. Now get out! Go and peddle your humbug someplace else. I hope Malloy stays here for 300 years.
Dear God, forgive this man the misery in his soul. Send him some of thy infinite mercy. For somewhere along the line he has been deeply hurt. Willie, I'm going to stop saying my prayers for old Case because, well, he's happy now that he's loving the Lord. From now on, I'm going to concentrate on you. You wait and see. My prayers will be answered. With or without a ticket, God is going to give you a reserved seat right alongside him, just so that you may learn about mercy. Goodbye, Willie. God bless you. See? And you thought you couldn't do it. You're going to change your mind about a lot of things, Willie. I'll see you. Higher up.
We are well aware, Reverend Bolton, that here a man may shave and bathe and shelter from the winter's cold. But have you really touched the heart of the Bowery?
Mrs. Bristow, if the way to the heart is through the stomach, we're now serving 1,600 free meals a day.
Food for the stomach. But have you any proof that you're reaching their souls?
Well, I'm quite sure this property can be put to better use. A modern housing project, for instance.
Mrs. Bristow, a housing project on this property would have to reach the sky to shelter as many of the hungry and homeless as we have.
Florence, please.
Don't shush me, George. I don't take such a dim view of our successes as you do. I say that even at its present height, this building does reach the sky. Men have left here better for the thoughts that you've given them. Hundreds and hundreds of them.
Perhaps you're right. I sometimes wonder.
Pardon the intrusion, Reverend.
Be pleased. This is a very important business meeting.
I know. But word has leaked out that yours is behind the 8 ball. That you're ready to throw in the towel, and what you need is dough. Now, we ain't had much time to work, but we ain't done bad.
Well, that's very kind of you, Gimpy, but how could anyone possibly know that we're in trouble?
The grapevine, Withern, the grapevine. All the way down from old Case and Sing Sing. He gives out the orders.
Good old Case.
Hey. Gimpy, please. Later, Reverend, later. Mrs. Bolton, stash this. Come on in, you mugs. And put your loot right there on the Reverend's desk. Folks, this is Louis. Now, Louis is shaking down all the hock shops. That is the ones that are handling hot goods. He's making them come through, you know? And he knows them all.
And if this ain't enough, Reverend, we can make a loan over at Reverend James's church. You're next, Charlie.
Charlie, come in here. Folks, this is Charlie the Cat. He was the finest sneak thief that ever crawled through a skylight. Until the Reverend Bolton clipped his claws. Shell out, Charlie. For shame! Come in here, Harry. Now, folks, I want you to look at him. This was the biggest dope pusher in the Bowery. His arms used to be just like pin cushions, weren't they, Harry, up until he met the Reverend?
You ain't just a kidding, Gimp.
But they ain't anymore. Not since Reverend Bolton came down here. Take a powder, Harry. After you shell out.
Oh, yeah. This is what I got from the rest of the boys.
And now, folks, I'd like to level with you. Now, you've all heard the old wheeze about the Lord making a blind man see.
Oh, get me, please.
Now, stay out of this, Reverend. This mission belongs in the Bowery, and we ain't gonna let it down. Well, the Lord ain't the only one that made a blind man see. Get a load of this. The Reverend Bolton did the same thing right here in the Bowery. Bukowski, come in here. This, folks, was his old racket. Now show him what happened after you met the Reverend. How do you like them onions? You know what he is now? He is now a full-time assistant to an oculist with 20/20 vision, and he's on the square. Bukowski, give out to the man who saved your soul.
Reverend Bolton, this is really a pleasure, because you're the man that made me see the light. Bukowski, I'm proud of you. And we're all very proud of you, too. Thanks to our Bowery Bishop.
And that ain't all, folks. They'll be coming in here all day long.
Yes, it's a world of its own, the Bowery, with a curious mixture of people. I doubt if Governor Peter Stuyvesant would have recognized it as his old Manhattan farm. But the same God is worshipped here as elsewhere on the island. And occasionally, wonderful things are apt to happen. For instance, take the night Mrs. Bolton and I celebrated our 15th year here.
Honey, that's beautiful. Casey. Case! Good old Case. Welcome home.
I made it, Reverend Bolton.
It's something I never doubted. I knew you'd do it.
No, you did it.
Me?
Yeah, you did it. You got through to Willie. He told the truth before he died.
I got through to Willie.
Can you imagine, Reverend Bolton? God picking out a couple of mugs like us to do his work?